Yes guys, what's going on? Hashtag Shura here. Welcome back to another video on the channel, and here today, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with yet another custom tactics video. I'm trying to do a custom tactics video per month type thing at the moment, and recently guys, we've just had a brand new patch released. I think it was like yesterday or the day before. This made a couple of gameplay changes, and I thought, you know what, why not bring a custom tactics out straight away for you guys to see sort of like the best custom tactic to use post-patch. Obviously, like, the game always changes a tiny bit every time we get one of these new patches, so it's always important to look at what works again and what doesn't, etc. If you guys do enjoy the video, drop a like and also subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any content. Without further ado, boys, let's jump into the squad screen quickly and start doing the custom tactics. Right, boys, before we jump into this video very quickly in the custom tactics, I'll just quickly read out the three main changes we've got to the game in the gameplay patch. So first of all, we've got increase the width of defensive lines in situations where the opposing side's ball carrier is at the edge of the penalty area or even closer to goal. Now this patch, by the way, overall does sound really good, guys. It sounds on paper very positive. The next one being increase the separation between defenders when an AI defender shifts their position to cover a potential shooting lane. Again, that sounds really nice. It sounds like there's going to be less players trying to bombard blocking a shot, which obviously is just very annoying. Let's be completely honest here. And then third and finally, we've got reduce how deep AI midfielders can drop back into their own team's penalty area, which again is another very interesting little patch to the game, which is something that sounds really small, guys, but it actually could add quite a bit to the game. Now, first of all, fellas, just so you know, Vinicius Jr. does not play here. My team's in absolute mess right now, I'll be honest. I'm currently in the middle of completing Player of the Month Mbappe. I'm sure some of you guys might be as well. And I think I'm about 6 squads in and I'm still going through it. So just for this custom tactics video that I needed to get recorded, Vinicius Jr. is just there. Don't worry, I don't play him off chemistry. And I tell you guys, don't play players off chemistry too much. I mean, what's he on? 4 chemistry? Why are we still talking about this? Let's jump into the custom tactics, guys. So basically, there's mainly just one thing I wanted to touch on in this video and one formation I wanted to speak about the most. So now looking at this, guys, I've done a few custom tactics videos about this 4-1-2-1-2. So I'll speak about it briefly. Obviously, you guys see the tactics right here. I've done other videos on this before, so I won't go through this loads. But 4-1-2-1-2 or 4-4-2 are going to be the two formations for you guys that I believe still, even after the patch, are going to be the most used. Now, 4-4-2 is my current formation of choice. A lot of pros are using 4-4-2. A lot of pros are using 4-1-2-1-2. It's actually quite balanced now. I would still say the narrow 4-1-2-1-2 is in the ascendancy in terms of like which one's being used more. However, I do feel with this patch that 4-4-2 could definitely come back into play a little bit more. I guess it's down to personal preference, but yeah, with the 4-1-2-1-2, guys, obviously balance, direct passing, the 35 defensive width, the 70 depth. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen this before. If you haven't, I really do advise trying these tactics out. They've been very successful for a lot of pros in a lot of pro tournaments. And obviously the attacking width on 30 as well. This is basically you just looking to like ping up the pitch like quite narrowly, as it is literally a narrow 4-1-2-1-2. If you guys know what I'm saying. The instructions, you got getting behind on the striker, you got getting behind on the other striker, one of them on comeback on defense, which I currently have as Ginola. You got Messi on comeback on defense, then you've got the CDM on stay back while attacking, cover center, then you've got Jude Bellingham on stay back while attacking and cover wing, and then you have the other one on a balance. So like this centre midfielder is a lot more likely going to be someone who you can get forward with a little bit more. And then on the fullbacks, boys, we've got stay back while attacking on both of them and also overlap. So that's the 4-1-2-1-2. I know you guys have seen that before. Okay, brilliant. I've clicked off the squad. That's very helpful, Alex. But yeah, the main thing I wanted to touch on this video, boys, is the 4-4-2 and just kind of speak about the way that the patch is going to work. So the 4-2-2-2, boys, this is my formation of choice in terms of just trying to get back into a game. If I'm 2-0 down, 3-0 down, I need to pull off a miracle. This is the formation that I'll use to try and get back into a game. So, you know, 60 width, defensively, 70 depth, constant pressure, build-up play balance, chance creation balance, width 60, and then players in the box on 6, corners on 1, free kicks on 3. Now, corners doesn't need to be on 1 anymore because obviously, guys, they've patched that thing where the stupid corner glitch was an absolute joke. Then on strikers, I've got getting behind on both. The CMs are both on balance, one on cover wing, one on cover center, and then both the wing and then both the fullbacks are on stay back while attacking, and that is it for them changes. So now into the main parts of the video, boys. So this is my main 4-4-2, right? I play a very balanced 4-4-2, as you guys probably know, who tune into my videos quite a lot. It's very important for me to stress, guys, I very much believe the 4-4-2 is better than the 4-4-2 in brackets 2 formation, right? I feel like when the CDMs drop back too far, they're not helping you when you're trying to get forward, etc. I'm on about when you do have the ball. So, boys, 4-4-2, like, to touch on why I think it's quite important with this new patch is, obviously, the first one, like I just said, reading out from the patch, boys, is that it's increasing the defensive lines in situations where, basically, you've got the ball on the edge of their box, right? So I believe like if you're playing with your wingers and you're like passing it inside to your CM and you're passing it out to your winger, then you're going back to your CM and back to your CM again, like, you know, you're trying to rotate the ball around as much as possible to find that pass into the striker. You might be able to do it better with 4-4-2, especially now they're saying that they're widening the defensive areas, because it can just mean there's more space in behind, especially with the fact that you will have width as well with your wingers. Don't know why I'm doing this with my hands. And then you might be able to find some more passes in the middle. One thing that's a big problem with 4-1-2-1-2 that I find is that sometimes, unless you're attacking really well, you can get really lost in the way you're attacking because there's not too many options. You're pinned into a very small area. And if you're attacking great, the 4-1-2-1-2 is obviously really good because there's so many options close to you. But, you know, if you want to slow it down a little bit more in attack, 4-4-2 is what I believe to be better for you guys. And then this is why I made this one on ultra attacking, chaps. So with the defensive width, boys, we've got that on 60 and the depth on 70. And then into the more important one, the attacking width, right? So I just think with this formation, like, we already just touched on the 4-4-2 being decent in terms of having the options out wide. And you've also got a decent amount in the middle, you know, with the 2 CMs and the strikers up top. But yeah, increasing the width of the defensive lines in this patch, boys, means there might be a little bit more space to exploit in behind. And another really important thing with this patch, fellas, as well, which is why I think the 4-4-2 could be good, is it's saying it's reduced how deep AI midfielders can drop back into their own team's penalty area. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys have played where your opponent's team literally will drop back so deep into the box, and sometimes it can be good if you can find the pass into the striker, but sometimes there's way too many bodies around. Like, it is absolutely disgraceful to play against. So it's nice that they've changed that, and it's nice that they've made it so the midfielders can't drop back as deep, because what it means is that you're going to be able to get that pass into your striker even easier. And that's the main thing I would say for you guys is the most important thing to add to your game, is try and get that pass into your strikers as much as possible, boys. That is literally my main gameplay tip, because when you get into your strikers, you can try a skill move, you can try 1-2ing it with your other striker, or anything, but it's getting to the striker that is the hardest part in FIFA, boys. Like, genuinely, getting it to your striker is the hard bit, especially when they've got, you know, these Hullet gang CMs sat right in front of your strikers. But thankfully, with the fact that these midfielders push up a little bit more, hopefully that should stop that happening a little bit, which might mean the player is closer to you in midfield, but it means you've got to try a little bit harder in order to get around that midfielder, and then you can focus on getting it into the strikers, if that makes sense. And into like instructions with this one, boys, so I've got getting behind on both the strikers, again, with the fact that, like, say you counter attack really quick and the midfielders aren't dropped back as far, etc., it's just more chance that you're going to be able to find even just like a triangle through ball through to your strikers, etc. So both the strikers are on getting behind. And then on one of the CMs, I've got a balanced attack, and one of them I've got a stay back while attacking. And then the one who's on stay back while attacking is on cover center, and the one who's on balance is on cover wing. Now, this is another thing I think is really important for you guys, especially if you do play a 4-4-2, is to make sure that you give yourself a little bit going forward and a little bit coming back, right? So basically, I've tried it in 4-4-2 where you have both of them on balance, and I still do play that sometimes. But also, it is a little bit difficult doing that because you do leave yourself for a counter attack very exposed sometimes. The same way that if you have them both on stay back while attacking, unless you decide to trigger them up the field, when you're trying to like build up that pass into the striker, you're struggling to have a centre midfielder there to help you out. So having one of them on balance and one of them on stay back while attacking gives you a good balance itself almost, because you could choose to either trigger Declan Rice and have him help you come up with you, or you could also choose to pull Jude Bellingham back with you, if that makes sense. But yeah, obviously it should line up a little bit more that Rice sits back a bit more and Bellingham sits forward a bit more, and I do think you guys should give that a go. Then the wingers, literally no change to them, and the fullbacks on stay back while attacking as well. But yeah, guys, I just think it's important to look into this patch and look at like maybe a more balanced formation for you guys, especially if you're struggling to attack in a 4-1-2-1-2 and you feel like you're losing the ball easily, etc. Now, don't get me wrong, if you're playing well in a 4-1-2-1-2, stick in that formation, because that really is a formation based on like form almost, I would say. But if you need to go back to basics a little bit more and try something else out, I really think this 4-4-2 is worth a shot for you guys. So I would definitely say give it a go, fellas, and let me know how all you boys get on in the comments down below. But that'll be the end of the custom tactics, boys. If you did enjoy the video, drop a like and also subscribe to the channel. Like I said, let me know in the comments down below, boys, what you thought of these custom tactics, and if you're going to use them yourself, let us know. Well, first accent of the video, and we're literally 14 minutes in on my recording. It's not going to be 14 minutes on the video. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking. You guys have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all on the next one.